Right. I have an issue with this plywood. It's narrower than the other piece. The timber, that this is the top of the unit. This is the top of the console unit. Let me get a bit more light on here. Right. So this is the top of the console unit, and they're falling back. They're not square. These cheeks, these are not square to the thickness of the back. Especially that one over there. That's really bad. This one's really good. It's not bad at all. This one, look, that's not bad. Yeah, it's almost perfect. But that one is all over the place. It really is, and it's all over the place by the thickness of this cutter, that cutter, and a jigsaw blade, a Bosch standard jigsaw blade. Thickness of the root. And this is why I keep all my used blades. I put them all in this jar. There's all different thicknesses. I've got scalpel blades. Yes, they're covered in rust, and you're going to get a cut, and you're going to get septicemia, and you're going to die. Yes, you will. But I just do it anyway. I don't really care. Right? I pick them up and I put them back. Yeah, that's where they're kept. I keep all sorts. Everything I bloody have, I just throw it in there. It will have a use for someday, for something. Yeah. Look, this is how I use the blade. When I need it to scrape, I just wrap some tape round the back. Yeah, and then I can just use it to scrape, and I can get into everywhere with these little pieces. Yeah, and I can cut at the same time. It might not cut sharp, but it'll cut. Yeah, so I do that. Do what you please. I just keep them all in there. Just throw them all in there. Give it a good wobble. Yeah, just keep doing that. Okay, I've done with that. So what I've done is I've got this cutter, and I've put the jigsaw blade in, like yeah. I've clamped all this. This is the piece I want. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it to a thing, but I'm going to glue a piece in there. I'm not going to cut that and try to make it square. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to get a piece of, once I've cut this and I've got a piece for the other side, I'm going to have a little bit left over to make the curve. So what I'm doing, I'm making that curve that's going to go in there like that. That's the development that I want to make. And I don't have enough material. I need to put my leg on something here. Right? I don't have enough material to do this bit on there. Yeah. But this is 22mm thick, that plate, and I just need 20. So I'm just not going to plate in this. I'm going to sand it. It's never going to be seen. This piece here will never be seen. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be sanded, just to get the rough off it. Only part of that that's going to ever be seen is this curve that's coming off here, and that curve will be developed. It just basically comes off that point there. It comes off that point and goes round to 80mm from there. So I'll measure it all up. I'll show you on here. Once I've made this one and I've got it to the size that I want, I'm going to have to get another piece. And I do have them somewhere. They're down there, look. I'll just get another piece and do it for exactly the same thing over there. But what I will do is I'll measure 80 there, and then I'll draw a reference line from over there and a reference line from there, and make sure when I go across here that it's exactly right and it's all at 90 degrees. And what I did do, I spaced this out by checking down that cheek, look. I stuck it at the back of that's no 90 degrees. We checked it this morning. Yeah, so that's and it's now touching a abutment. It's against this one. Yeah, so you can see it. It's all 90 degrees. There's no taper. It was like that before. It was like that. So what I will do with this piece of wood, before I fill that with fillet, I'll put a couple of screws in there, just the short ones. This is how I do out of level. I'm sure other people do out of level the same way. I'll screw the little screw into that face, whatever screw I've got, until it goes flush with that, look. When it's flush with that, it can't go anymore. It just will not go any further. I'll put one there, and I'll screw through here. One screw through there, and that'll lock, and then a couple in there, and this will all be locked. And then when it's all locked and it's super glued, I'm using super glue here. No, can't stick PVA to that stuff. It's not for I'll drill that way, at an angle. I'll do it so you can see it. This is just representing where the screws are going to go. Okay, bear with me, I've got to let go with my right hand. So, representative of what I'm doing, I'm going to put a screw right through the centre there, into this. Then I'm going to know one about there, and one away from wherever the screws are. There's a screw coming through there, so there will be a screw coming through there, and sorry, no, there won't. There's a screw in that somewhere. I can tell you exactly where it is, because I know where it is there. So I've got all this surface to put a good 3-inch screw straight into this. Yeah, I've got all that surface. I can go that way or I can go that way. I can do what as I please. There's a screw somewhere coming through there into this piece of wood. So I just want to make sure I'm going to miss it, and I'll put another screw in there and another screw in there. And this will be super glued, this edge. Yeah, exactly like the one I did down there, which is still inside the tape. That's been super glued to this last night, because this wood is plywood, and you can't get PVA to stick to that. I haven't been able to. This is from experience. I haven't been able to, as I've been working on it. I can't get PVA to stick to this. Oh shit. Right, so that's what we're going to do. The next thing you're going to see is you're going to see the 80mm and the 80mm that way, and there'll be a point in space on here on this piece of wood, and I'll get the compass and I'll trace it. I'll trace that curve onto here accurately. I'm not going to go around that and trace it around that. That's not accurate. So I'll put everything away. You'll see me develop that. And I wish my compass had come today, my big one. Doesn't have to use the divider. I've got a divider up there that can just adjust to any size. I'll use that. It'll just screw it in the wood. Once I've got it, I know where all the limits are, and I know where my circle is, I'll cut larger. I can't cut that, obviously that piece won't be there, right? And then I'll cut a little piece off and make that other piece up. I'll have to make that first before I do the radius. Okay, so I'll be back. You'll see me put it together. I'm working on the console now. I've done with the brush. The brush is up there and it's hanging. It'll just sit there till later on. And I've got some insulation tape up there. Look, I always have stuff. Never throw stuff away. That's been there since the early 90s. And you'd think, oh, it's gone off. It's never going to stick. But listen, hear that? It will stick. It's cool down here. This stuff don't go off. It's not repair tape. It's not the stuff, self-amalgamating tape that I use for electrical, the cottony stuff. That's fantastic stuff. I just don't have any. I have Bandizo. I've got some it's called Bandizo. It's called other sorts as well for doing water leaks and stuff. Diazo tape or whatever they call it. I don't know what it's called. It has some other names, and I've just bought some because I had to fix something up to make sure it could never leak. It doesn't have a leak, but I want to make sure it's in a hidden place, and I've wrapped round it dozens and dozens of times to make sure it can never ever leak. And it's got grease on it, and you've got to put gloves on and everything. Right, don't leave that like that, donkey. Right, so I'm gonna get on with this, and you'll see it develop. And I'm hoping you're enjoying the extension bench stuff that I dumped this morning. There's still more to go. You've only seen half of it. 63 of those videos, and you've only seen half of them. So the more's come today. Last night I was jumping up and down with joy because I had 40 subscribers, but somebody's unsubscribed, which is really upsetting. You know, you're saying, oh God, I got 40 subscribers. How did I get 40 subscribers? How did this N-head get 40 subscribers? Where did he create 40 subscribers? You know, but somebody must be liking me, because I can't. Subscribers, if you have got a private listing on your mobile phone or whatever, and I can't see you, okay, so I can't thank you, and I can't subscribe to your channel. The way I'm thanking people is who I can see I've subscribed to. If obviously everybody's got a YouTube account, they can't subscribe, so I just go and subscribe to them. I can't, you know, that's my appreciation. You'll see me come up on there. It's Made in Bradford as a subscriber to your channel. Tinkering Tim, I've subscribed to your channel. Thank you very much for subscribing. I think Tinkering Tim's in the United States. Thank you. There's some others, some I can't even pronounce, and a few more came on last night. And I want to thank those, and I want to thank every single subscriber that I get. You have my heartfelt thank you. I will do my best to entertain you. This is an entertainment channel, so I'm gonna be bantering and saying all sorts of stuff. You'll have to excuse my swearing. Sometimes it just goes. Okay, like the I was working away merrily, right, and I saw something out of the corner of my peeper down there, coming across there, and I thought, oh my God, it's that head from the thing. Have you seen that? The bloody doctor's head that turns into a giant spider. I always, nightmare job. If you've ever seen the thing, right? Oh, God, that thing. Oh. Anyway, I thought it was that, but it wasn't. It was a spideroonie, and it was about that big. And I set off swearing because when I saw it, by the time I'd got to go, it had gone in there. It had gone down there, and it was sat there thinking I hadn't seen it, but I'd seen it. I went down to talk to it, and I looked, and I'm not joking, it had boxing gloves on every leg. Yeah, And they were cursing at me. Oh, what are you looking at? I let him go. I just let it go. And then the other day, he were over there, just as, and I don't like spiders, I'm telling you. Money spiders, yes, because I'm hoping they'll give me some money. But them buggers, them big ones with jumping ones, ooh, I can't stand them. They're beautiful, but I can't stand them. Those wolf jumping spiders. Oh, because I was thinking they're jumping on me. And I was thinking they're crawling to my ears and lay millions of baby spiders. So that's my fear. Or up my nostril or something like that, you know. I'm not keen on them. All right. No matter how many times somebody says to me, oh, and even the daddy long legs do it, the daddy long legs spidery things. But I let them live. If they're in here, I let them live. But he was going to get crushed. He's going to get crushed, so I had to evict him. And I'll tell you, he was swearing, he didn't like it. He was waving his boxing gloves at me. Yeah. But I'm going to show you him. But I swear in that, I'm warning you now, it'll be dumped. And I'm swearing because I've absolutely got freaked out. So pardon me for the swearing. Pardon me for the swearing. I'll say it now. If I swear, I'm absolutely diabolically, I've got no choice because I've just been jumped out of my skin. All right.